Recently I was reflecting on my university experience, and one of the things I realised is going to university just for the sake of going to the societies was worth every penny. So here's why I think that. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So if you didn't know, my name is Yarik and I'm a recent graduate. Throughout university I was fortunate enough to go to many different societies. At one point during second year I was actually going to 5 societies per week, and through doing that I actually learned a lot. So here are my 5 biggest takeaways from that. Number 1, social serendipity vehicle. Through the process of going to societies, you never know what kind of value going to these societies will provide in terms of different experiences, meeting random people, and the impact it will have on your life. As an example, I decided to go to the Kung Fu Society for just shits and gigs, something different. During that I actually became good friends with a few people there, one of them being a girl called Sammy. Later on, through Sammy, I actually met my ex-girlfriend Mariana, and we worked together for like over 1.5 years. That led me on to like a host of other amazing opportunities, which I'm very grateful for. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is basically, as a result of going to these societies, you get to meet all sorts of random people from all sorts of areas of life. You get to share amazing experiences with these people you meet. Some of them might become your really close friends, others not so much, but that doesn't really matter. And then you don't really know like the random serendipitous experiences you guys are going to share. So number 2, the what the hell effect. This term I actually heard in the weightlifting community. So it's through doing kettlebell exercises such as swings, strength of them actually carries over to other movements. So let's say you only did kettlebell swings for a month, then through doing that, the strength and the performance of that gets carried over to movements like deadlifts, things like squats, and somehow like things like pull-ups, which is quite interesting. So through going to society, for one thing, these benefits actually carry over to like other areas of your life. At Freshers Fair, my mate Tom and I went round just to see what's out there in Coventry, and we kind of go around and we come across to a stall where they're offering free food. And you know what, you're broke freshman and you want free stuff, so you kind of go there just simply with the free food, and you get to speak to one of the guys there, and we talk to you about this seminar I guess they're doing called 24 Hours to Live, which sounds very intriguing, and the sell of it is we said we're gonna have more free food there. So you know what, I was like, hell yeah. So I started off by simply going there for free food, but I stayed there for the incredible people. This community of individuals from all sorts of different backgrounds started to feel like family to me, and the talks only kept getting better. Everything from reducing stress, improving productivity, help with anxiety. We did like meditations, we did like all sorts of different things. It was really good. The quality of those talks can only compare to things like TED Talks. So after a couple of months of going there, one of the speakers called Ricky, he actually did a talk on leadership, and one of the books he was references was How to Win Friends and Influence People. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I've never read it before, let me see what this is about. So I actually bought that book and I've read it. Throughout reading that book, and I read like probably Power of Now, and I read like a bunch of other books, it literally made me fall in love with reading and going on that journey of like self-improvement, I guess. But then there's more. Actually, just eventually, for one of the speakers called Jessel, he ended up suggesting me a book called The 4 Quadrants. So after reading Richard Porter, this was the second book. I didn't think I really wanted to read it, but eventually I ended up reading it. And then Jessel told me about the Cash Flow Club, which is a kind of a mastermind group who kind of come together and play this board game, basically dedicated to mastering personal finance and getting out of the rat race. If you want to find out more about it, I actually made a video of my week in life, talk a bit about that community. Okay, next thing, skills appreciation. Through going to different societies, you're actually able to learn so much. So for example, through going to Photography Society, I actually learned a lot about the principles of photography and how to create better composition, take better pictures. Okay, and through the amazing community, the kind of the fun task we did in the meetings, kind of like more or less gamified the whole experience, so it made it a lot easier just to learn. And through doing Kung Fu, getting here I learned a lot about self-discipline, like doing all the different movements in Kung Fu, and yeah, it was just a really good experience. Also, when I went to Investment Society, I actually learned, I guess, the fundamentals of investing. This started to pique my curiosity with the stock market and real estate as well. And again, that led me on to another journey of, I guess, personal finance. Okay, the next thing is the time management machine. So for you to be able to go to uni and then do all the lectures, go to seminars, and then being able to obviously manage all the workload, and then go out, spend time with friends, go to the gym, have enough sleep, and manage to go to societies, you require a decent amount of time management skills. There's this thing called Parkinson's law. And so the work will expand the time allocated for its completion. Let's say a deadline for a bit of work was a week, so you'll manage to complete the task in about a week. So let's say you probably fuck around for the first couple of days, and you'll be like, oh, okay, cool, let me get really serious with this. And for the last couple of days, you actually smash it and then complete it just in time. But let's say the deadline for the same work was 2 days, so manage to cram all of that in 2 days and again finish it on time. The task gets done. So once you schedule it in, majority of the times it's got to get complete. So yeah, this leads me on to the second year of university, where I actually did about 5 societies per week. Meanwhile, getting a first during that year, and I'm averaging around 77%. Then at the same time I was going to the gym, I was also going out 1-2 times per week. Then I was also getting enough sleep. And meanwhile, I actually managed to get a really good placement at Mercedes Formula One, which is just incredible. Finally, number 5 is comfort zone extinguisher. By going to societies, especially if you're nervous about doing something like that, it provides you a way of stepping out of your comfort zone. So for me, one of the first societies I actually went to during first year was the Photography Society, and me walking to it, my heart was beating, like I was sweating loads. I'm like, oh, this is so scary, me doing something by myself. It's funny looking back at it, but it's a good experience. And I remember another thing, when I went to the Kung Fu Society, I was so afraid to go there for some reason, but I didn't actually even go to the very first lesson, the very first session. I actually backed out of it and walked back. And so I actually nearly walked all the way to the building, but because I was late, I'm like, fuck, this is so scary, I'm not going to go in there. So I actually walked back, and then I only went there the following week. Yeah, man, why the fuck am I so afraid? And this could provide me like incredible opportunities to actively step outside my comfort zone. I was less afraid to do other stuff in my life. Okay, and you know what? At the end of the day, the time I have at uni is a lot. For me, when I originally went to uni, I thought like, you know what? I have so much time, 4 years, but time flies by like this, and all of a sudden, I've graduated. So what I'm trying to say is, going to societies will impact you one way or another. These are just the 5 things. The return you'll get is beyond the scope of imagination. So how about you just go there, go to one society, who cares? Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, on that note, thanks so much for watching this video. And if you want to see a video about my university experience at Coventry, here's that video. And if you want to see my most recent video, it's right here. Okay guys, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.